Hello students, I am Chef Sundar Srinivasan from AISSMS College of Hotel Management and Catering Technology, Pune. We move ahead to the second part of topic garbage disposal. In this, we would just briefly go through what is accumulation and segregation of garbage. We would start with a little bit of, we can say, a recap of our earlier session. We went through different types of solid waste, which included residential, industrial, commercial, institutional, construction and demolition, municipal services, processes, that is various companies where processes are involved, and agricultural waste as well. We also saw through what is municipal solid waste, hazardous waste, hospital waste, plastics, and hotel waste. So moving ahead into our this session, we would understand what is segregation. Now, very basic thing from our childhood, we have been seeing this guy going around the street shouting kabadi wala or bangar wala, or who is collecting all the items from different household. And it has been a mentality in our household as well in India, that we do not dispose or throw off anything so easily. We make sure we get value for even the waste that we are generating. Very simple example I'll tell you about the milk packets that we get at home. Many of them, even today, they do not throw it off. They cut it neatly, wash it, they clean it, wipe it, and they stack it, and then they sell it off because they know they do get certain value for it. Similarly, there are many other things like metal and scrap, and then your paper. All these things are they have certain value for selling them back, right? So this has been there in our households for a long time. Now, only thing is we need to go a little step further, maybe to properly bifurcate other garbage as well. We know that there are certain items which can be reused, right, which we sell off. There are certain things which can be recycled, and then there are certain things which cannot be, which nothing can be done to it. It has to be just discarded off, and then further the issue is taken up with the next agency who is dealing with the garbage, right? So what basically household garbage has? Household waste should be segregated into different categories. Of course, many of the places today they are doing it. Wet and dry is the basic thing that they have started at many of the household societies. Rather, I have seen in many societies, from the house itself it starts with dry and wet. Wet garbage is collected separately, dry is collected separately. One should also know you should have a separate bin for toxic waste such as medicine, batteries, paint. Now this at a little higher level needs to be taken, cannot be done at individual household, because such kind of waste is not there daily in one particular house. Maybe a society could have it, and maybe a weekly collection of such kind of thing, garbage can be done. Then we have wet waste that consists of leftover food, or the before cooking, whatever cutting, trimming of vegetables is there. All these things, they are generally used for composting and can be given off to such kind of agencies or people who are handling in composting. And dry waste like cans, aluminum foils, plastics, metal, glass, they should be sent for recycling. I came across this very nice picture on the net, and I said, let me share it with you. Like, this is what a woman in the house would deal with. Okay, different types of waste, and from here it can actually start to segregate properly. Okay, this could include hazardous waste like bulbs, tube light, batteries, paint, aerosol cans like your deo sprays, and you have the cockroach and mosquito sprays. All these things can be disposed properly. Syringes, medicines, right? Then you have the garden waste, leaves, branches, trimmings, weeds, etc. You have wet waste of food, basically. Dry waste that could include all types of paper, glass, wire, rubber, wood, all these things. Then you have the debris, if there is any debris in the house, if there is any work that is being done in the house, that kind of debris. And then you have sanitary waste, where you have the sanitary napkins or diapers, bandages. All these things, they need to segregate properly before putting it into the garbage bin. In fact, there is this organization called Swachh, which used to give, I don't know if they still provide, they give special paper packet which has a small sticker mentioning that this has sanitary napkin into it. So proper disposal is done using such kind of agencies, and one can take advantage of such kind of agencies to do the appropriate type of disposal. Okay, segregation of municipal solid waste can be clearly understood by a small schematic representation. Just to tell you all, most of you all know this process. So what happens? Okay, I'm going from the down part first, where you say door-to-door collection, right? From door-to-door collection is done by whoever is appointed. They collect the garbage from home. Either they take it in their carts or trolleys, and then they dispose it in a common bin, which is provided by the municipality or the local authority. Okay, or door-to-door collection is we directly throw it into certain common areas which is being allotted. Even this community bins, from here maybe it is taken over by different trucks, trailer, auto rickshaw, tractor. Okay, all these things come and collect the garbage, and they take it to the dumping yard or for the further processing. Also, in our where I stay, that area, this is missing entirely. The community bin is missing. The door-to-door collection is done through these carts, trolleys, and directly you have the corporation vehicle which comes at a certain time, and in that time they have to hand it over to that particular vehicle itself. You just can't put it anywhere, right? Now all this, once coming on the top, after that you have the corporation who is collecting from the roadside, dustbin, and small places and commercial places. They collect and then they take it for their disposal. So there are two different things that we actually see. One is our door-to-door, and at a commercial level what exactly happens, right? So the next slide you would see the little broader pattern, right? It is a little broader thing to understand, but at a higher level this type of planning is generally required. I came across this in a research paper published by one author. I'm not naming it over here right now, but credits to that author who has published this, of how one can plan the disposal of garbage from rural or urban areas. Each of them have a different number, R, G, F and H, which is being provided. Okay, so R being recyclable, G being general, H is hazardous, F is food waste, and based on that how things could generally move. So one interesting fact I found is from the restaurants and markets, the F garbage can be directly taken to places where you have poultry farm or your animal husbandry, where this food can be directly consumed by these animals. In fact, in India you have a very popular person, I don't recollect the name right now, but he featured in one of our Indian premier television shows as well, where he owns a lot of cows, and you have chickens, you have ducks, you have pigs, and all these animals help in consuming the different types of garbage that is available from the market, and in return they get good eggs. They have duck eggs, they have chicken eggs, manure, they use a lot of manure for bio-based fuel. So all these different things can be done. So this is a broader aspect of how we would say schematic representation of how garbage is collected and it is taken for disposal. Then segregation of waste, basically clear idea, biodegradable and non-biodegradable. As we saw in the session 1, different types of wastes are there, so that can be put as biodegradable and non-biodegradable. What is biodegradable? Includes organic waste like kitchen waste, vegetables, fruit, flowers, leaves from the garden and paper, which will degrade into the nature either by natural process, or we can accelerate the process of their degrading. What is non-biodegradable? Okay, these certain of them can be recycled, like plastic, paper, glass, metal. Not all plastics, certain plastics can be recyclable, we can reuse them. Paper, metal and glass, yes, they can be reused, they can be destroyed and you made into some other product again. Especially I have seen videos on glass recycling. Huge industry it is today, because it takes really good pain to prepare to make this glass. So recycling of glass is huge. Metal recycling, India is very we are looking very small, but in other countries I have seen videos where people at household level go into this recycling of metal, and they are able to earn money by recycling metal as well. Then you have other non-biodegradable waste like toxic waste of paints and chemicals, spray cans, fertilizers, pesticides. All these are toxic waste which could prove fatal or harmful for human being, animal and the nature as well. Then you have the soil degradable, like non-biodegradable, hospital waste, soil cloth with blood and other body fluids, you can't reuse it, it has to be destroyed. So they have to be taken very, very good care of, especially the toxic and the soil waste needs to be taken care of. Now, what does recycling involve? It involves a collection of used and discarded materials, processing these materials, making them into new products. It reduces the amount of waste that is thrown into the common dustbins, thereby making the environment cleaner and better. Okay. Paper is one of the most common things that can be recycled, reused. Glass, as I just said, glass is metal, they can be reused. So wherever possible, things should be reused today rather than just discarding and throwing. So many people have come in different ways of recycling material. N number of ways. There are lots of videos one can find that one can use to use these products which are going to go as garbage. Coming to our hotel industry, so hotel waste collections. Now, increasingly, hotel industry has made for, they are making way into more eco-friendly stance on waste management. They are trying to take care of the kind of waste that is being generated in their organizations. And being such a huge industry, the hotel waste is large and extremely varied. You have different kinds of waste that is generated, not only from kitchens or service, or you have guest rooms from where you have different types of garbage that also come in. So certain things that hotels dispose are like your bathroom toiletries, your food waste, drink waste, bottles, leftover drinks, packaging from cleaning products, whatever products are used, the packaging remains that has to be taken care of, beddings, towels that are deemed unusable for guests or by anybody. Then waste electronic and electrical equipment, what to do of these things, proper disposal required. You have garden waste that is to be taken care of. This is also a big headache for people. Glass, I spoke about glass some time back. You have cardboard that has to be taken care of, cardboard and paper. So these are some of the things which the hotel generally needs to worry about a lot. Hotel have a range of bins and containers which can be used to store different types of waste. Yes, every hotel has different types of dustbins in which different types of waste needs to go in. There are certain universal colors that are used today, or an organization can have their own colors of garbage bins for their own type of segregation, or their own, to follow their own method of segregation. Now, most hotels today are committed entirely, to reduce the kind of impact that is being generated by waste on the environment. They are trying to take care of a lot of waste at their level itself. So to minimize waste, there are certain rules or guidelines. Basically, many people follow these 7 criteria rules. The first one says reuse and recycle whatever possible. Whatever they do should be energy efficient. Conservation and management has to be taken care of. Waste management becomes an important aspect of it. Hazardous material management is another important aspect, especially when it comes to use of chemicals. Environmentally and socially sensitive purchasing policies. So when you are purchasing the product itself, from there you think of the possible environmental impacts that could happen. And fresh water resource management. This is one important thing that has crept up of water. Yes, it is water is becoming scarce, and we have to take good care, and hotels do take care of their water resource as well. So at present, what happens? You have restaurants and hotels and these bars with restaurants, hotels, small hotels, you have A-grade restaurants. All these places do generate a lot of garbage, especially food waste is there, along with other beverage waste, bottles and other things also. What happens here? So the local municipal corporation authority, whoever is there, they generally collect the garbage from the common garbage bins. Now, many small hotels do put their garbage in these bins itself. But slightly bigger hotels, what happens is the vehicle comes to the premises itself or collecting the garbage from these particular restaurants and hotels. And there is certain charges levied by many municipal authorities for collecting garbage, since the volume is much more. Now, certain hotels, what they do is they tie up with certain agencies who will take the garbage from the hotel directly to that particular place where disposal is done, or any particular process needs to be done with that type of waste. For example, there was one organization I knew that whatever food waste was there, pre and post cooking, whatever food waste used to be collected separately and taken directly to a vermiculture farm, where vermiculture this used to be fed into vermiculture. Direct composting used to happen for these places. Okay, they also had tied up with the glass person who recycles glass. So whatever bottles and all these can directly go to these places. So you have different ways where these organizations are tying up with the hotel organizations are tying up with different agencies to make sure that their garbage is taken care of. Of course, not all, but some of them are really into taking care of what kind of garbage they are sending out of their organization. Now, storage of garbage in hotels. Most of the 5-star hotels or the large hotels, what happens is the garbage cannot be just taken out and thrown. So what they do is they store this garbage correctly before it is disposed of. How? Okay, they collect all this garbage and they have a separate area generally which is behind or at the side of the hotel, and there is a separate room where this garbage is kept. It is not just kept open. Most of the hotels I have seen, they have a closed area where all the garbage is kept, and not only closed, but they do have temperature control, like an air conditioner or cold air would be there, because the moment garbage starts to accumulate, it starts to deteriorate and starts to smell. Different kinds of gases are emitted. So to prevent or to slow down this process, they are kept in cold temperatures to avoid further deterioration till the vehicle comes for collecting this garbage. There are certain cares that need to be taken about the garbage in bins as well, that we'll see in the next coming slides. But this is how generally the hotels take care of the garbage. Okay. Garbage bins, very important. It should be made of metal, preferably galvanized. Nowadays, you won't find metal bins. You will find maximum plastics being used, since it is they're finding it durable, easy to color, etc. But there are places where they still use metal garbage bins, which are of galvanized material, stoutly constructed and durable. They should be able to handle the weight that is being dumped into it. Unridged, which means that there should be no ridges where the dust and dirt can get accumulated. It should have a good lid, preferably with a clip, so that it does not blow off or it does not get displaced where it is being stored. It should be painted with bitumen to prevent rusting. Bitumen is nothing but tar, or which is used for road construction. So this prevents the rusting of that particular bin. It should be leak proof. It should not leak, else you will have all the liquid seeping out of the garbage, making the place very smelly and dirty. Should not allow pests to gain access into your garbage bin. Pest proof. It should be easy to clean. Once the garbage is emptied, it should be easy to handle and wash it. Right size should be used, the correct size to be utilized by the organization. Then you should have adequate in number. Okay, it should not be that one garbage bin is located in the front and one at the back. You should have enough garbage bins at different places, and also depending on, in the hotel you generally know what kind of garbage is generated in different areas. So you will not have a wet waste garbage placed in the front office. You will have only a dry one placed over there. So one has to know what kind of garbage bin needs to be placed at different locations. They may be lined with plastic or wet stuck bags. Nowadays you have specific bags being given by the local municipal authorities for using which has to be used for wet garbage and for dry garbage. So these special bags can be utilized. The bins, once not in use, should be kept dry, so that while in use also they remain dry. They should be placed approximately a feet above from ground level and little away from the wall, that is around 45 centimeters. This does not allow pests to gain entry into your garbage bins, especially rodents, rats. They very easily. So to prevent this, you have it at a little higher level so they don't get easy access. The top of the platform should be slatted to avoid accumulation of moisture around the base. Slatted, which would mean you would have minute holes around the lid somewhere little bit, so that it does not sweat inside, does not increase the temperature inside, does not allow accumulation of moisture inside, else the garbage would start smelling and rotting very fast. So a little bit of escape of air needs to be allowed. Once it is used, cleaning of garbage bins becomes important. Okay, so garbage bins generally have to be used in rotation. So one is drying, maybe the next lot is being utilized. So it is good that once the garbage bin dries, it does not have any smell in it. So it is a good way or good practice one would have to have rotation. They should be cleaned regularly. Tap, pipe, or drain should be provided near the disposal area, so that we don't need to carry the garbage bin from one place to another. At that area itself, cleaning is possible. After they are emptied, they should be rinsed with warm water and scrubbed with a proper brush. with the soap and disinfect it. Just as I said that once this is done, it would not smell once it dries up. The floors of this area should be always kept clean, free from any spilled refuse, which nothing should be on the floor. This could lead to falls and injuries. So one has to make sure it is clean and dry. Kitchen waste, plate waste should be collected in closed container or good packing material bags, okay, so that it does not smell or does not leak off. Once it is full, ensure that it is either tied up or the bin is kept separately and a new bin is used. Lastly, the containers should be covered, cleaned thoroughly as soon as they are empty. As I said earlier, very important that you clean the garbage bin once the garbage has been removed from it. We go into our quick recap of this particular session. We started by understanding segregation at household level, and we also saw the schematic representation of how it happens in our local municipality areas, and a broader sense also we saw a beautiful representation. Then segregation as biodegradable and non-biodegradable waste. Then we understood what is recycling of waste, how it could be reused or how it can be reduced. Then we saw how hotel waste collections are done within the hotel, different types of garbage that is generated within the hotel. Then you had the segregation and storage of garbage that needs to be done in the hotel, how it is segregated by using different types of bins, okay, and how it has to be stored properly. And then we lastly saw the characteristics and the use of garbage bins and what precautions and care we need to take while cleaning these garbage bins as well. So with this, I come to the end of this particular session. Thank you all students and happy learning.